Now, today we will discuss about nutrition in animals. Okay, so we have just studied the nutrition in plants. We have learned that plants are autotrophic organisms which can manufacture their own food. So plants don't have to look to others for getting their food, just like us, just like humans. Okay, they are food producer themselves. But this is not in case of animals. Animals are heterotrophs. Yes, hence they depend on others. We depends on others, depend on other organism actually, other for their food. Got it? Thus, animals need an external source of food. Okay. So, we will now discuss how animals obtain their food. Okay. So, animals obtain their food from plants or other animals. Okay. Since animals cannot make their own food, na, so they depend on the ready-made food. Okay. Okay. So, animals obtain their food from plants or other plants. So, write on next point. Animals obtain their food from, yes, they obtain their food from other plants, okay, from other animals, okay, or plants, such as animals means to say which they eat. Okay, we humans are also animals now, so we obtain the food like wheat, rice, pulses such as dal, fruit and vegetable from plants, है ना? So what we get from plants? We get from plants wheat, rice, even pulses and dal, so many things. And what about the animal products? Yes, what are the different animals products? These are the milk, curd. You actually form milk from form curd from the milk. Okay, these are the same things you can say. Cheese also, it formed from the milk. Even eggs are obtained from animals. Some people also eat meat. Even some people also like to eat chicken. These are for the non-vegetarian, and fish as food. So all these foods are obtained from animals, है ना? So there are many other animals obtain their food by eating the flesh of other animals. It is clear here. Okay. And who are the animals that like to eat flesh of other animals? Like fish, birds, snakes, insects. You know? And do you know that big fish eats small fishes? The birds eat worms, insects even. है ना? A snake eats frogs. है ना? So they are different organisms. Okay, even there are some plants also, beta. There are some plants, pitcher plant known as, that trap the that are able to trap insects. Okay, so on the basis of their food habits, na. Give me a second. Yes. So on the basis of their food habits, there are different type. We divided all the animals into various groups. Okay, animal groups on the basis of, yes, their food habits, not habits, sorry for that, food habits. Okay, so, or eating habits, on the basis of their eating habit. Just a minute, let me take another color. Okay, hanji. Okay, so these are, first one is the herbivores. Some of the organisms are herbivores, some of them are carnivores, while some are omnivores. It will be omni, not like this, omnivores. Okay, so we will now describe herbivores, carnivores and omnivores in somewhat detail. So let us start with the herbivores. Okay, herbivores. First one is the herbivores. Okay, so here I will take some bright color so that it will visible to everyone. Okay, clearly. Anji. So herbivores, these are the some animals now. Some animals eat only plants. As the name indicate, beta, herb means to say plants. The plant that the animals which like to eat only plants are known as the herbivores. Okay, herbivores may be, they may eat grasses. What they eat? they eat grasses, okay, they eat leaves, they eat grains, got it now, they eat fruit, and some like to eat the bark of trees. Hmm. Got it. And who are the herbivores? Can we tell me who'd like to eat all these things? Who'd like to eat all these things are eaten by the goat, cow. There are so many, so many organisms present in our surrounding now that like to eat all these green herbs. Okay, they like to eat all these green things. Okay, so here are some examples. I have written some examples. So many. Okay, so goat is called a herbivorous because it eat only plants as food. Only plants. Okay, so these are only plant eaters. Okay, so let me highlight this part. These are eat only plants. Okay, and herbivores are called the herbivorous animals. Okay, now let's talk about next one, that is, yes, next is the carnivores. Okay, carnivores, what do you mean by this, beta? एक minute, just a second. Actually there are na हाँ जी, so there are some animals eat and only other animals. Yes, they depend on only and only other animals. They do not eat plant. Okay, write the next point. Do not eat plant. Even they don't like plant. Okay, plant food. Got it? So carnivores eat only animals means to say only the meat, flesh of other animals. So we can also show that those animals which can eat only the meat or flesh of other animals are known as carnivores, such as vulture, yes, eagle, lion, tiger, even frog also. Frog is an aquatic animal, na, aquatic organism. Okay, so there are so many. Most of the wild animals, generally wild animals, they depend on other organism for food. Okay, generally. Okay, and snake also. Okay, so lion is known as the carnivore because it eats only the meat. Okay, other animals like deer, rabbit, goat, etc., they like to eat. You can simple word you can say that carnivores like to eat herbivores. Yeah, herbivores organism. Is it clear now? Chalo. Now next one is, first of all let me highlight this part, then I will go toward the another, so that you guys are able to recognize the definition easily and you can easily make the notes. Okay beta? Okay students, chalo. So let me take color. Okay, wait, where it is going? Yes. Okay, so जी, हाँ जी, so third is the omnivorous. Omnivores, or the animals are known as the omnivorous. Simple. Okay. Omnivores. Animals that eat both. Both means to say plants as well as animals. Okay, as food. So those animals which eat both plants and animals are called the omnivores. In other words, you can say omnivores eat plant food as well as meat of the other organisms. And the examples are man, that is human beings. You can say dog, crow, and most of the birds, actually it include most of the bird. Okay, even the manna and ant also. Okay, so man is called omnivorous, or even you can say all these are known as the omnivorous because he eat plants food as well as he like to eat meat of animals such as goat, chicken, and so many things. So omnivorous are plant eater as well as the meat eater beta. Okay, so here I am going to clear one thing, that all the living organisms on this earth actually they depend, all of them are depend on sun for their food. How all these are depend on their sun for this? Let me clear you with this point. A second, let me take highlighter now. So to make it more, no, it's not working. I think it's okay. So here I'm going to make this sun. Okay, is it look like a sun? Yes. So here's the sun. I want to take green color. Yes. Okay. So sun, and here are the plants. Plants are easy to make now. So let me draw plants. Okay. And there are some other organisms such as goat, which is herbivore. Okay. And there are lion, which is carnivore. Okay. And there are man, that omnivore. And as I have already explained you definition of omnivore, carnivore, and yes, herbivore. Okay. Now let me take another color so to explain this to you. Hanji. So plant use sunlight energy for what? For they use to prepare food by the process of photosynthesis. Now the plant utilizes this food for maintaining their life, है ना? So these plants are further eaten by goat, or you can say any herbivores and omnivores as food. These are eaten by the goat, as well as these are also eaten by the omnivorous organisms, while the carnivorous eat herbivore as food. Okay, eaten by this. Got it? So it is the energy of the sun which provide food for plant. So what clear with this figure? That the goat is herbivore, which eats plant. Man is omnivores, who eat both. They like to eat plant as well as the animal also. Okay, so this diagram will be somewhat like that also. Okay, or you can say like this. Okay. Now the lion is carnivore, who like to eat only the goats. The man usually does not get eaten by any of the lion because he is very clever fellow, है ना? Okay. Now let's talk about the process of obtaining food and then using it for obtaining energy, growth, and repair of the food. And this is known as nutrition. We have already discussed now. Okay, we have already discussed about it. But do you know there are various steps involved in the nutrition process? Yes, do you know about it? Okay, let me explain you different process. I am going to write it there. Okay, so there are different steps. Steps in the process of nutrition in animals. Okay. So the first one is the ingestion. Second is the digestion. Okay. Third is absorption. Clear, beta? 4 is assimilation. And the last one is egestion. So these are the different steps which are involved in the process of nutrition in animals. Okay. So an organism either make its own food from the raw material or as a green plants do, or takes it ready-made food as animals do. They all need a nutrition. Okay. So these are the 5 steps. So what do you mean by the ingestion? Do you know? Ingestion means to say taking of food. Okay, it means to say beta taking of food. Got it? Taking of food into the body. This is known as ingestion. We must eat food now, or take food into the body. Okay. Why? So that we get energy and growth. Okay. Clear? So when we put food into our mouth with the hand, we are ingesting food in very simple language. And what do you mean by the digestion? The food of an animal consists of large insoluble molecules, okay, which cannot be absorbed by animal's body. which cannot be absorbed by animal body. Do you know what you remember digestion process actually? The food that you are taking is in the complex form actually. Okay, you are taking food in the form of roti, you are taking food in the form of rice, okay, in the form of dal, or I mean to say pulses, in the form of veggies, there different vegetables are present, and the molecules are present here in very complex form. Okay, so this is necessary that if I'm talking about roti and rice, it contain carbohydrate. Dal contain lots of protein. Vegetable contains nucleic acid and fatty acids, है ना? Even fatty acids are present in ghee, butter, oil, all these things. Okay, so these are the complex food substance. Our body need to break it. How you will break it? With the process of digestion. So the breakdown of complex food means to say beta, the food component which is present in your diet, that is carbohydrate is the complex food component, protein, nucleic acid, all these are complex food molecules. Okay, breakdown of complex food substance, I am writing it very in a short because there is a less space into simpler form, that is, it is the anabolic process. Simpler form, why there is need to into a breakdown into a simpler form? Why? What is the need? So that the food can easily absorb. And how will you break it? With the help of an enzyme. Not only an enzyme, there are so many digestive enzymes are included here. We will discuss all these digestive enzymes, we will discuss all the process in detail, okay, in the next lecture. Okay, so what are the absorption? After digestion, the food molecules become soluble and small. Okay, so the soluble food molecules can pass through the wall of our intestine and then go into the blood. Okay, so the process in which digested food passes through intestinal wall into blood. ठीक है बेटा, into blood stream is called absorption. What do you mean by assimilation? हाँ जी, देखो बेटा, blood carries the absorbed food. When the digested food goes into the blood na, then this blood carries the absorbed food to different part of our bodies. Okay, the food then enters each and every cell of the body. Why there is need of food to enter into each and every cell of the body? Yes, tell me. Just to provide energy, materials for the growth and repair of the body. Okay, so write down definition. The process in which, this is another thing. Okay, the process in which what? Absorbed food is taken by, yes, when it is taken by body cells and used for energy, and when it is used for energy, growth, even the repair of our body, repair is known as assimilation. Is it clear now? Now next one is the egestion. The whole food which we eat is not digested by our body. They keep this in your mind. Okay, this is not digested. Whole food is never digested. A part of food which we eat remain undigested, which cannot be used by the body. Okay, so this undigested part of food is then removed from the body in the form of feces, which when we go to toilet. Okay, so the process in which the undigested food is removed. Okay, and undigested food is removed from body is called egestion. Okay, so these are the different steps These are occur in case of in case of amoeba, in case of human being, and there are so many other organisms. Got it now? Okay, now come to the next part. Yes. Nutrition in simple animals. Yes. Amoeba and even the paramecium, yeah, these two are very simple animals. The body of each one of them consists of a single cell only. Okay. Single cell organism actually they are. है ना? So these are known as the unicellular animals. So in unicellular animals, all the process of nutrition, all the process, I mean to say ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, even the egestion also, all these are performed by a single cell. So this point will become more clear from the following examples. So here first of all I am going to explain you about the nutrition in case of amoeba beta. ठीक है? So write down that amoeba. I have written it. Yeah, I have written it that it is a unicellular organism. Amoeba is a unicellular animal. है ना? Okay. So amoeba eat tiny. Tiny means to say microscopic plants and animals as food, which floats in the water in which it lives. So the mode of nutrition in amoeba is holozoic, such like in human beings now. Okay, and the process of obtaining food okay, by amoeba is called the phagocytosis. Yes, phagocytosis. Phagocytosis means to beta self feeding. Okay, phagocytosis is self feeding. Actually the various steps now they have just like us. Okay, so all the process are performed by a single cell. So here I am going to describe all the steps, okay, one by one. The first step is the ingestion. Okay, ingestion. So here I am going to explain this into the next slide. Here all the steps are given. First one is the ingestion. Okay, so as you know now there is no definite shape, है ना? The body structure is having no definite shape in case of amoeba. Okay, just a second. Okay, so first one is the amoeba. Let me write it there. I'm going to write it there, ingestion. Okay, first is the ingestion beta. The ingestion, amoeba has no mouth, है ना? No mouth. Here I'm talking about the amoeba, so I'm not writing it amoeba. Okay, or a fixed place for the ingestion of food. Just like us now, we have a fixed place. We have a mouth, so that with the help of our mouth, we are able to take the food. Okay, just a second. Where it goes? It goes. Just a second. Okay, here. Okay, so what I'm writing, it deleted. Just a minute, I'm going to write it there. It's lagging actually, I think. So okay, so amoeba has, in amoeba they has no mouth, just like in our case we have a fixed place now. Yes, we have a fixed place for ingestion of the food, like for intake of food. Okay, so amoeba ingest food. They ingest food. Ingest food now, I mean to say intake food by using pseudopodia. Yes, pseudopodia. Okay, so how they intake their food, let me explain you here. Look at this. This is known as the pseudopodia. Okay, pseudopodia. When a food particle come near amoeba na, then amoeba ingest this food particle by forming a temporary finger like structure. Look at this. Okay, pseudopodia means to say, you can say temporary finger like projection. Okay, so this is known as the pseudopodia. Around it, now the food is engulfed with a little surrounding water. Not only they engulf food, okay, plus water, not only food, and this is known as the food vacuole. Got it? So the food is engulfed with little waters which is present into the surrounding and form a food vacuole inside the amoeba. Okay, so this food vacuole is considered as a temporary stomach, and this can be framed as a question. This is very important point. Okay, so temporary stomach, tell me the name of temporary stomach which is present in case of amoeba. It is the food vacuole. Okay, keep this in your mind. A very important question, beta. Okay, now let's talk about the next part, which is known as the digestion. Okay, so here I'm going to write down about the digestion. Now the food is inside their body. Now let's see how digestion occurs. So in amoeba, food is digested in the food vacuole by digestive enzyme. Food digested in food vacuole, because this food vacuole is act as a temporary stomach. Okay, by digestive enzyme. This is by digestive enzymes. Keep this in your mind that digestive enzymes are always necessary for the breakdown of complex food substance into the simpler forms. Okay, now how they get where this digestive enzymes are present? The enzymes are present in the surrounding. Okay, here the cytoplasm are present na. So in this cytoplasm, enzymes from surrounding cytoplasm enter into food vacuole. Okay, this is the food vacuoles. Okay, sorry, this is the nucleus, here is the food vacuole. They enter into the food vacuole. Okay, this is food vacuole, enters into food vacuole. Okay, and break down into the soluble molecules by chemical reaction. Thus the digestion in amoeba takes place inside the food vacuoles. Okay, that's why I'm writing it here. Digestion of food occur in food vacuole by the digestive enzymes. And how they get the digestive enzymes? Digestive enzymes are present in the surrounding atmosphere. These digestive enzymes from the surrounding atmosphere enter into the food vacuoles. Then they cause breakdown of the food vacuoles. Okay, food vacuole breakdown means to say then the food changes into the simpler food molecules. Okay. Third is the absorption. Okay, beta. Now the question is how absorption occurs. The digested food present in food vacuole of amoeba is absorbed directly into the cytoplasm of amoeba. So write down food vacuole. Actually, the digested food vacuoles. Just a second. It's not working again. Hanji. So digested food in food vacuole. Food vacuole absorbed directly, because there is actually no particular system. They have no small intestine, large intestine, nothing like this. Okay, directly into the cytoplasm. Okay, of amoebas. How? By diffusion. Again, an important question for your exam. Again, it is a very important term. How absorption occur in case of amoeba? It occur by the process of diffusion. So simple amoeba consists of only one small cell, है ना? It does not require food system to carry the digested food. Okay, so the digested food, this digested food is absorbed. It just spread out from the food vacuoles. Here it is done. Look at this, where it is given absorption. Yes, here it is spread out into the food vacuoles, into the cytoplasm. Okay, clear? Into the whole of the amoeba cell. So after absorption of food, the food vacuole disappear. After this food vacuole disappear. This is another question. And next step is the assimilation. Okay. Now next step is the assimilation. ठीक है बेटा. This is the fourth step. So the part of food absorbed in amoeba cell is used to obtain energy through respiration. Okay, and remaining part of absorbed food used to make the part of amoeba cell which lead to growth of amoeba. Thus assimilating food amoeba grows in size. Okay, clear? So how they grows inside? Amoeba can reproduce. Now amoeba can reproduce by dividing into two daughter cells. So this is known as the growth. Okay, this is known as the growth of amoeba. Okay, reproduction is actually growth of amoeba. Okay, so let me show you here. Okay, assimilation, that increase in the size. Increase in size. Clear? Okay. Next step is the egestion. Egestion means to say, beta, amoeba has no fixed place like anus for removing the undigested part of food. So when there is a considerable amount of undigested food collects inside amoeba, then its cell membrane suddenly rupture at any place, and the undigested food, yes, rupture at any place, just like this, and the undigested food is thrown out of the body of amoeba. Okay, so this is how digestion this is how nutrition in amoeba occur. And same case happens in case of paramecium. Same thing happens in case of paramecium. Okay beta, so this is all about today's lecture. That's all for today. Thank you.